treatment is the Grapefruit Body Polisher. And please notice I'm not adding any water or anything. We are working completely dry. This is one of the 3 recommended home care. The client on cellulite areas can do this once a week, but they also get an additional benefit that they can use it as their exfoliating body wash. Okay, and you need about, so this is the product, and you need about like a nickel amount, okay? Let the product guide you, okay? And what do I mean by that? When you begin to work and massage the area, first of all, you're doing a nice deep petrissage massage. So you're working the area, okay? Every step you want to boost and build that circulation. With every step, the area should be getting more and more sensitive. And with this treatment, like I said before, there's nothing else that works unless it's aggressive, and this is very aggressive. So yeah, the client will be a little bit reddened, they'll be a little bit sensitive, but it really works. So you work the area, and as I said before, let the product guide you. You're getting all of the antioxidants in there, and in the meantime, you massage until you get a dry, granular texture. And the aroma in every single product, it is natural from the actual source. So if there's grapefruit in there or berries, that's actually what you're smelling in there. There's no perfume or fragrance added to it. And we're getting that high dose of hippophaia berry in there, which has tons of omegas. So you see, you start to get more of that granular texture, and you start to get a little bit of that pink color. That pink color is telling you that you're getting down into that tissue, you're stimulating the blood circulation. So the more red, the better. It means you're boosting the circulation, which will then stimulate the lymphatic drainage, as well as draining and breakdown of those fibers and proteins that build up in that adipose tissue. So then you take completely dry towel and just brush it off. And the first half of the treatment is all about external manual stimulation. The second half of the treatment will be internal stimulation, where the ingredients are going to start to boost that fat cell metabolism and stimulate from within. The next step of the treatment is our golden body oil. So you have that beautiful yellow color from the hippophaia berries, a very high dose of vitamin E in there, avocado oil, squalene, which have excellent moisturizing properties. This is our massage step, okay? This is also, it has that specific aromatherapy blend, which I mentioned about, which has a stress relieving benefits. So you just want to make sure that you do this step for a minimum of 5 minutes, and you can go all the way up to 12 or even 15 minutes on each area. So if you were going to do front and back, which sometimes clients do request, first of all, doing the front would be considered an add-on, and the way that you would normally in the treatment room work the areas, you do step 1, step 1, step 2, step 2, step 3, then flip them over, okay? And then go through all of the steps and flip them back. So you're going to apply a skin liner, which essentially is a thin napkin, okay? The vitamin C works as a booster to activating how quickly the patches will begin to work. So you want to have 500 milligrams, so you take 1 tablet and you just want to crush it. The purpose is you just want to get powdered vitamin C. Okay, so you have your vitamin C rich hot water. So remember, the adipose tissue is all connected. Even though we're gonna put the patches on a selected area, the adipose tissue is all connected, so you're actually stimulating everything around. Depending on the size of the client. For demo purposes, we're going to just focus on this area, but normally you would kind of work it angled from here to about here. You don't want to go over the back of the knees. There's no cellulite there, and it will just be uncomfortable and sensitive there without a purpose. So you want to have a pair of scissors handy, and you would measure out. So normally for a client this size, you would probably go down to here. For demo purposes, we are focusing on just this specific area, so let's do 2 by 4. You don't want to cut these squares open. The powder stays in its respective squares, okay? First of all, the patches do have perforations on them, but usually it's never where you need to be, so keep a scissor handy. So you cut approximately where you need it to be. As I said before, you never cut the patches open. You cut along the vertical line approximately where you need it to be, okay? And you have a rough side and you have a glossy side. The side that goes on the skin is the rough side, and that is the side that you dip it into the water. So the rough side goes face down. You keep it in the water until you see that the powder has completely converted into a paste. And you know that it has because it changes color. If you see like a little white area, that means it's still powder. So you want to keep it in there until it's fully converted into a paste. So once we get the patches on, we're going to go back to the consultation. So the rough side's going to go face down. And you want to insulate the area. And remember, at this point, you would have already been up to step 3 on both sides, okay? And at this point, if you are also doing the front as an add-on, you hold it tight and support them and roll them over, okay? If you are not doing it as an add-on, once you're done with this step, you would take the golden body oil, massage the shoulders, the neck, the back, sway your arms so they get that stress-relieving aromatherapy. Let's time out. We'll keep it on just long enough for her. How are you doing on a scale of 1 to 10? She's out of 5. Perfect. So I'm going to go back and talk a little bit more about the treatment while we wait for it to continue to activate. In class, usually we are doing just excerpts of the treatment, so we'll keep it on long enough for me to go over the recommendations for the treatment. Another thing that I did want to mention is that very often your clients might feel like, oh, I'm very rapidly reaching that 7, 8, 9, 10, and then it subsides and starts to build up again. So just different things to be aware of and be in tune to. But the way that you know it's working is it is supposed to get red. It is supposed to get sensitive. That is how you know that it's working. Yeah, you have to use some protection after it, but you know what? You kind of balance. Get rid of the cellulite, have a little bit of a flush, or have the cellulite and not have it. You know, it really works remarkably, and everybody who has this treatment done, they love it. They purchase the packages and they use the Homecare. So we're gonna let it work for another few minutes, and very often you do feel it from the outside as well. So we're going to continue with the demo. You just remove everything and you're going to discard. And you see that flush color? And normally when you are up to that 9 or 10 level, it will be even more flush, which is good. The next step of the treatment is you're going to either just use your fingertips or a dry brush if you would like, just kind of guide the lymphatic drainage. Where do you want it to go? Always toward the heart. And same thing I mentioned in the beginning as well, when you're massaging, you're always manipulating the tissue toward the heart. that nice flush color is exactly what you want. That's how you know that you're boosting that blood circulation. So you would do a little bit of fingertip brushing or dry brushing for about 2 to 3 minutes on each area, and again, toward the heart. The next step of the treatment is our contouring cream, which is the second of the 3 recommended home care. You would use about a dime size amount. For a client who is using it for home care, if it feels very intense in the beginning, they can just decrease the amount that they are applying and then build it up to using a quarter amount. So at this point, you're not massaging anymore, just very light topical effleurage application. Very, very light, and you just want to get all of that on there, and we're getting, well, at this point, internal stimulation. And the last step of the treatment, which is the third product of the recommended home care, is the Moisture C Recovery Complex, which works as the booster. And besides that, it is very rich in aloe vera and green tea and ginkgo biloba, so it's a very nice complex. Besides the fact that it works as the booster and the cellulite treatment, clients love to incorporate it even into like their under moisturizer addition for that additional boost of vitamins. So very light application. Everything is working internally, and you see that flush color, it's good. That is what you're looking for, and it should even be more flush than this. That is how you know you boosted the blood circulation. That is how you know you attacked that adipose tissue.